Thank you guys. You guys ready to beat some socialists here in a couple months? Make no mistake about it, that's what we're up against. And it's up to us. It is up to us. We've been blessed to be born, raised, and live in this country. I know you guys feel it just like I do. It's actually why I ran for office. I got tired of watching politicians at events like this or come talk in the district about going up to Washington, D.C. and fighting for us. And then the moment they got there, they became a part of the very establishment that sells us out every single day. You know what? I didn't make my voters a lot of promises, but I did tell them, I will go up there and I will fight like hell for you guys. That's right. That's exactly what we've done. I'm honored to be one of the only people, there were 8 of us, that fired the former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, this last year. Yeah, thank you. And you know, I did that not because I don't like Kevin or like I had some personal animosity. I did that because I knew after watching enough that he would not represent you, he would not represent us. And I said, that's it, you're fired. You're fired. Well, as you can imagine, the swamp didn't like that very much. And so they put a hit job on all 8 of us, and I'm proud to report that my district just appointed me in the primary. I won that election 81-19. I tell you guys that not to brag on me, but to brag on you. What I found is that if you actually go up to Washington, D.C. and you do what you told your voters you're going to do, if you get their back up there, they will get your back down here. You guys sent a message all throughout the country to candidates behind me coming up. I hope we're getting reinforcements up there because, God, we sure need them. That they can go up there and they can fight against the swamp. And the voters of this country, if you do that, they will get your back. So thank you. Thank you. I see a lot of hard, patriotic men and women in this arena today. It gives me the energy to go back to Washington, D.C. and continue the fight. I'm reminded of one of my favorite statements. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. It's like a tale of 2 administrations. We have weak and incompetent leaders right now that are creating hard times for everyone. And I know you guys feel it just like I do. But let's talk about strong men for a second. How about President Donald J. Trump? You know, I did 3 combat tours and I saw a lot of brave and amazing things overseas. And when I saw President Trump on January 13th, on the 13th, get shot in the head, get up off the deck, pump his fist, and let him know no matter what happens to him, it's up to us to continue the fight. Fight, fight, fight. Thank you, brother, Sonny. But I want to tell you guys something, and this is the most important thing I'm going to say in the few minutes I have left. We're never going to fix this country if we only look at it through the political lens. I want to read you guys a scripture. 2 Chronicles 7:14 says this: "If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin and I will heal their land." It's just as much true today as it was when it was written thousands of years ago. The reason I say that, guys, and I realize that not everybody in this building shares the same faith, but our founders understood what I'm talking about. We have pushed God out of everything, and that is why we're in trouble. We need to turn back to God in this country. And it's funny because as I say that, we got a bunch of reporters back here, and I know they're just thinking, oh my God, another white Christian nationalist, right? That's right. I think I just saw one of them back there run for a safe room. It's okay, it's okay. We're just talking about God. You're all right, you're all right. Guys, this is up to us. This is our election to lose. This is our country to lose. How many of you guys are going to help Turning Point Action chase ballots? Good, because this is not a spectator sport. And if we want these times to be good again, it's going to take action from all of us. We can't count on Donald Trump to carry the entire load on his back. So thank you guys for turning out. Thank you guys for waiting in that hotline. God bless Arizona. God bless you guys. And God bless the United States of America.
Wow. You know, someone who wants to be president had an event here. And she had to partition all this off because we draw a bigger crowd than Kamala Harris, don't we? It feels so good to be around all of you. I was in Chicago this last week, so you didn't have to go there. We already defeated one presidential candidate, so we might as well now defeat another one. And what an honor, what a time to be alive in the most important election of our lifetime. I'm traveling the country, going to college campuses, we're organizing in the grassroots. We're talking to so many voters that know it is time for change. They know that something is wrong. They're tired of sending $200 billion overseas to Ukraine while we can't secure our southern border. They're tired of seeing our homeless vets while we prioritize foreigners that come into our country. And by the way, what an insult to the legal immigrants in this country that we allow illegals to get luxury hotels who cut in line. They know that something is wrong. And many of you waited hours and hours in line. By the way, who here was waiting in line overnight? We saw that. It was unbelievable. You're right up here, 24 hours in line. Because you know you are part of something bigger than yourself. You know that you are part of the most exciting, diverse, powerful movement in the history of this country. And this movement is not about Republican or Democrat. This movement is not about conservative or liberal. And I think you're going to see that on display in a little bit, just maybe. This movement is about the citizens versus the oligarchs. This movement is about we the people versus the ruling class. This movement is about America versus the globalists. This movement is about all of us against them. And they know something is coming in November. You could see it. They're terrified because they've lost control. They've lost control of the narrative. Today, we saw the next chapter being written. You understand you're living through history being here today. You see, Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, and the Democrats, they say, vote for us. We won't improve your life, but keep on giving us power. Because we're going to lie relentlessly. We will raid your home and put you in prison if you disagree. Their idea of democracy is installing a candidate that no one has voted for. And the old Democrat Party is dead. How many former Democrats do we have here tonight? Raise your hand. God bless you, God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. You are all welcome in this movement. You are all welcome in this movement. Because the new Democrat Party is not about what they used to stand for. The new Democrat Party is about power. The new Democrat Party does not love the country the way that all of you do. And how amazing was it today to see Bobby Kennedy Jr. endorse Donald Trump for the presidency of the United States? You know, this has been a wild summer, everybody. Donald Trump was convicted in a show trial. We had the earliest debate ever. Donald Trump was shot and survived, and by 2 centimeters, our country lived. We got a new candidate, and maybe most remarkable of all, a Kennedy has endorsed a Republican for the presidency of the United States. And you better believe they're scared. All the media, they're scared because they're supposed to have a monopolistic control. You saw the DNC, watch us and obey. Watch us and obey. We're a movement of free thinkers. We don't agree on everything. We have differences of opinions. That's why our movement is going to win. In the Democrat Party, they say disagreement is not allowed. They don't believe in free speech. They don't believe in the free discourse of ideas. I think it's a wonderful thing that we could say we might disagree on the small stuff, but we agree on the big stuff. We agree that we should prioritize American citizens over foreigners. We agree that it is a constitutional right that you should be able to speak, that the government should not be able to spy on us without a warrant. We agree that every human being is made in the image of God and deserves protection. We agree in your right to bear arms. We agree that the founding fathers were divinely inspired when they wrote the United States Constitution. The small stuff we can disagree on, but the differences are dramatic. And that is why we need to extend an olive branch to the Democrats in your life, the Democrats that still have a little bit of a free thinking. Now, I'm not talking about the Democrats that got the 9th booster shot and wore a mask while they showered. I'm not talking about those Democrats. I just spent a couple days with those Democrats in Chicago. They were bragging about how many booster shots they got while they were waiting in line. I'm not exaggerating. I'm talking about the Democrat right now that is working as an Uber driver. I'm talking about the registered Democrat that is working with their hands to serve you food, and they cannot afford groceries. And maybe the only interaction that they will have with our movement is when you say, how you doing? Man, I can barely get by. I could barely get by. And you should say, you know what? If you vote for Donald Trump, you're actually not going to be taxed on your tips. This movement is growing and ascending because we all agree on the big stuff. We agree that the people are the sovereign in this country. And we've seen in the last 30 years the uniparty on full display. You know where the wealthiest counties in America are? They're all around Washington, D.C. 8 out of 10 of the wealthiest counties in America. So basically what they do is they tax you into oblivion. They make everything more expensive, and inflation is a tax, by the way. They take all of that money so that they can get richer and wealthier around the kingdom of Washington, D.C. And what do they produce? All they produce is more regulations, rules, and customs, and wars that put you in more jeopardy. A $6 trillion budget while we have to close down our factories. And they thought they could get away with it. And this is why they fear the man we are here to support today. Because it's more than just that he supports the right things. It's that he had the brilliant and uniquely American idea to bring all of you in the room where the deals are negotiated, where you get a seat at the table. And they hate that. They hate it because you're not supposed to be involved in this. You're supposed to just kind of be on the vote for me every 4 years, give me more political power, and stay out of my business. You're not supposed to be aware of what the spending bills are. You're not supposed to care that our communities are being overrun by people who are never invited here, that newcomers are squeezing our social safety net. And what has happened is we are seeing an explosion in citizen participation. And this rally, you look around, this is incredible, is only a starting point. But what they will really fear, you know what the Democrats are going to be terrified? They're going to be terrified if every single person here makes a pledge and says, I'm going to go find 100 new voters and I'm going to go make sure they vote. We have nearly 16,000 people and thousands of people outside. We'll get the final count. If everyone here just found 10 new voters, that would be 160,000 new voters here in the state of Arizona, nearly 16 times what the ballot shortage was in 2020. You want to make it too big to rig? Let me tell you the open secret of this event. This room can deliver the state of Arizona for Donald J. Trump. This room, all of us together, this room. And it's as simple as, I'm gonna go download the Turning Point Action app. I'm gonna make sure that my brother, my sister, my aunt, my uncle, my aunt, my cousin, my Uber driver, my waiter, my waitress, are you registered to vote? Nah, it's a waste of time. No. I'm not asking you to storm the beaches of Normandy. I'm asking you to fill out a piece of form, fill out a paper, put it in the mail. 5 minutes, and I better never hear you complain about inflation again if you don't fill out that ballot. On October 7th, which is tragically the anniversary of the terrible massacre in Israel, ballots go out in this state. Ballots are going to be scattered all across this state. What the Democrats do is they will deploy thousands of paid operatives to go find those ballots, to try to chase them and get them into the system. Now, I'm not here to try to change your method of voting if you want to go vote on election day. All for it, I get it. But I am going to say, for the plumber, the electrician, the welder, for the person that's never voted before, we want them to hopefully try to vote early than not vote at all. For the people that never vote, it's a waste of time, it's a whatever, say, hey, knock on their door. Can you get this piece of paper and put it in the mail? Or how about this? If we say that everything's gonna work perfectly, remember what happened in 2022 when half of all the machines failed? And Kerry Lake should be governor of this state if all those machines actually worked? So if you are looking for a way to get involved, if you say, Charlie, I can't take it anymore. I'm tired of being a spectator, I wanna be a participant. We have to flood the zone. And remember that election day is the last day of voting, not the first day of voting. Think of it this way. Our supporters are so fired up to vote for Donald Trump, shouldn't we give our movement more days, not less days, to go vote for the 47th President of the United States? And how tragic it would be if we flood the polls on only one day and the machines go down and we have 4-hour waiting lines and the single mom that wants to vote for Donald Trump says, oh, that line is too bad, I bet Trump wins anyway, and we fall 10,000 votes short. If you are willing to wait 4 hours in line, God bless you, because many of you just waited 4 hours in line to come to this rally. I think it's great. But we have to think and remember, this movement expands to people that don't have the time, the capacity, the energy, or the spirit. I'm going to close with this. This election is the hardest I've ever worked towards a single objective in my life. And we've done a lot of things at Turning Point, by the way. Largest high school program in the country, largest college program in the country, now the largest ballot chasing operation in the country. And thank you for all of you that have supported it. It's absolutely amazing. Donald Trump alone will not carry this election. Think about how much he's already done and how much he's been through. He's taken the entire country and he's put it on his back. Try to take his business empire away from him, sue him, slander him, indict him. He has sentencing coming up in September. He's been shot. And let me just say one other thing on this. I believe that was the most witnessed televised miracle in history. The glory of God saving Donald Trump's life. And let us give God the glory. What will be the differentiator? Because the Democrats are already saying it's going to come down to a couple 100,000 votes there. Here's the difference maker. In 2020, we fell 41,000 ballots short. So I want you to think back to 2020 of what you didn't do, of the door you didn't knock on, of the friend you didn't pester to get the ballot in, of the friend that you didn't text. And then I want you to do that, and then I want you to double it. The difference maker is this: we will be outspent. The media will lie about our movement. They will lie about Donald Trump, but they can't control you. And they know it. There will be fake polls. There will be suppression polls. But this election will be a testament that the fighting spirit of the American people is alive and well, that we're willing to do the work, that the conservative grassroots are willing to go out in 106-degree weather and knock on the door of the single mom and say, let's get that ballot in, let's get that ballot in. You're going to keep on showing up until that ballot is in the mail. We have an amazing opportunity in front of us. It's not going to be easy. There will be ups and there will be downs. But I want you to remember this moment. I want you to be fired up and encouraged, because you are not alone. You have been gaslit these last 4 days watching the DNC. And today we put on full display the strength, the width, the depth of this incredible movement. I can tell you, looking at where this country is and what would happen if Kamala Harris becomes president, price controls, open borders, maybe World War III. Thankfully, that's a new one. They're chanting crazy, crazy Kamala. It's a new one. By the way, I wouldn't expect anything different. It's a group of young conservative men. You know, young men are the most conservative they've been in 50 years, by the way. It's great. Today is our 2-year-old's birthday. And I look at my daughter, and that is my why. And for those of you that are parents, you know exactly what I mean. Knock on that extra door, go that extra mile, talk to that extra friend. Because throughout voting month and culminating on the 5th of November, I believe it will go down as a day that people remember, as a day that is written about in history books, as the final battle from the golden escalator on down, from defeating Hillary Clinton, from the nonsense of 2020, from Butler, Pennsylvania, November 5th, it all culminates where we restore the promise that the founders gave us. And they said, hey, if the people want it, the people get it. And